The UK will reveal the names of the first foreign citizens to face visa bans and asset freezes for alleged human rights abuses under Britain's new post-Brexit sanctions regime. It is expected that UK Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, will be announcing the names of Russian and Saudi nationals, who have been suspected targets, today. Mr. Raab, a former human rights lawyer, has pushed for a tough sanctions regime in spite of misgivings among some in the Foreign Office over its likely impact on bilateral relations. Some seem concerned about relations with strategic allies with poor human rights records, including Saudi Arabia. Under the UK's version of the 2012 US Magnitsky Act, government officials have been working on targeting individuals in Russia, Saudi Arabia and North Korea. The act itself was named after the Russian lawyer who died in a Moscow prison in 2009 after alleging officials were involved in tax fraud. But according to the UK's 2018 Sanctions Act, the Foreign Office declined to unveil the list of individuals covered in the first list of targets. However, Mr. Raab's blacklist, to be set out in Parliament on Monday, is expected to include those believed by Britain to be implicated in the death of Magnitsky. UK-Russia relations have been somewhat on an icy patch after the 2018 nerve agent attack on former double agent Sergei Skripal. Mr. Raab is also expected to target Saudi citizens suspected of involvement in the killing of the journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018. Despite it being a victory for social justice, it will also be a move that will strain ties to one of Britain's biggest allies in the Gulf. The new sanctions will come into force immediately, freezing the UK assets of those named by Mr. Raab and banning them from entering the country. Several dozen people are expected to be named, and the Foreign Secretary said they would include torturers, murderers and abusers. With this legislation, the UK will have new powers to stop those involved in serious human rights abuses and violations from entering the UK, channeling money through our banks and profiting from our economy, said Mr. Raab. This is a clear example of how the UK will act as a force for good in the world, standing up for human rights.